What's up, guys? Your girl Luca here, back with another video, and today I will be discussing Hogwarts Legacy once again and some of the rhetoric that has been surrounding this game. But before we get into that, if I can ask you guys to please hit the like button, it would be much appreciated. So, Hogwarts Legacy is a game that is coming out soon. A shout out to someone who gifted me the game, very generous. They wanted to stay anonymous, so I'm just going to say thank you very much for gifting me the game. I wasn't all that interested in it, but after watching some of the latest videos, I'm kind of like, okay, this looks like it could be kind of fun. We'll see, right? Aside from that, again, there's this conversation going on Twitter mostly, but on other, I think there have been some articles written about it too, right? But like nothing really of note. But there have been quite a few people making statements like and similar to Brianna Wu's, where she says quite clearly, Hogwarts Legacy is not a game, which I mean, it is actually a game, but it's a character test, and a lot of people are about to fail it. You know, when it comes to statements like that, I feel like a lot of it is this concept of trying to sound deep and like an intellectual. You know what I'm saying? Because as the conversation goes on, this person here, and he makes a great point in my opinion, but this person here, Benjamin Sawyer, he's like, all right, so where do we land on the topic of the franchise existing beyond its creator, and this game being the product of a generation of creators eager for people to play their game despite of Rowling? Are we punishing the wrong people by boycotting the game? Now I think that this is a fantastic question, because it goes back to let's take Lovecraft, for example. H.P. Lovecraft is widely regarded as the father of Lovecraftian cosmic horror. You know what I'm saying? It's this concept of fearing the unknown, Cthulhu, all that jazz, right? Now, H.P. Lovecraft is also someone who displayed very bigoted viewpoints about other races and about women, and a fear of women, which is why some of the creatures in Lovecraft horror resemble genitalia, that kind of thing. Anyway, moving on from that, what I'm saying is people can acknowledge that H.P. Lovecraft was a spooky dude and still enjoy his work. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like there's a lot of mediums that also employ that kind of thought process, where it's like, I enjoy this person's work, but I know that the person behind it a little sketchy, you know what I'm saying? And I think it's more of a modern thought process to have this concept of, well, if you buy this, or if you support this, you're automatically supporting the viewpoints. It actually doesn't work like that. It is a more nuanced conversation. However, people who make statements like this are not able to provide any sort of explanation or reasoning, like viable reasoning, to why they say the things that they say. But that's what Benjamin said. Brianna's like, the amount of rationalizations from otherwise intelligent people has been extremely disappointing. This is called a deflection. She does not answer any question here. I thought it was a very valid question, especially again, since there are other works of like a lot of fiction, a lot of novels in which we know that the the creator and the writer was just had some issues, you know what I'm saying? And you know what's the most interesting aspect about this is that, like, the people who are making this game, they've already come out and said, like, J.K. Rowling is not actually involved in this. She's just the creator of the Harry Potter IP in general, right? But again, Benjamin's like, you know what? I was asking questions because I wanted to have a conversation. I have legitimate questions. Thanks for the eye roll, though. Makes me feel real great. And Brianna's like, I cannot have a conversation with every single dude on Twitter trying to rationalize this. Read the comments. There are hundreds of you. So unfortunately, Brianna does not feel or deem it fit to actually respond with a valid answer to this. And honestly speaking, it just comes down to her not having one. That's what, like, she doesn't have an answer to this. It's very, very easy to come out and claim that someone is prejudiced or someone is problematic without providing any sort of reasoning or any logic, especially since blanket statements like this are very popular on apps like apps like Twitter. That is, people can say some very crazy things, and they'll get a large group of folks being like, you know what, I'm gonna like that tweet because I agree with this person's hot take. So Again, she doesn't explain herself. It's not the first time she's made a statement like this. I'm not really all that surprised, right? So then we go over to this person here. Her name is Sarah Daniels. She's a Twitch streamer among other things, that is. And she says, from someone who was literally a poster child for the Hogwarts school choir at Universal Studios, if I could not buy Hogwarts Legacy, so can you. It really is that easy. This was one of the best, most memorable parts of my life, but JKR is harming people I care about. She continues with saying, RIP your mentions, call the block button, learn to use it. I do agree with that. Block folks, right? And then she continues with quoting this tweet here saying, y'all are trying to play devil's advocate and say she's not harming anyone in the comments. You have a lot of privilege and all are being muted. So again, this person here, I do not want to accidentally misgender this person. She says people like to say they care about and are allies to marginalized communities, but when asked to do the bare minimum, aka don't play or support a game, that's apparently too much for them. The thing of it is, like, this statement doesn't necessarily work because not every single person who is part of that marginalized community is asking people to boycott. Actually, there have been a few people who are part of the trans community who have been like, you know what? I actually don't care if you buy this game or not. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like, well, whose voice are we listening to when it comes to these conversations? You know what I'm saying? And also, I would like to know, as someone who's Black, as someone who's also a woman, as someone who has mental health issues, and other things among, who that's in the mix, I don't necessarily subscribe to this notion that just because you're part of a marginalized group, that your opinion about what's happening with said marginalized group is automatically correct. I do tend to favor logic and people being rational, and the logical response to this is J.K. Rowling is already rich. Whatever crusade or let me try and get back at her, any of that, she's already won. There is absolutely nothing we can do to affect this chick. You know what I'm saying? And again, she's not a part of the game, so you're not hurting her. You're really not hurting her. She already has her money, right? You're hurting the developers. So, but regardless of that thought process, like, the game is already doing very well in terms of pre-orders. So there's that too. But yeah, so Sarah, she talks about folks having a lot of privilege, all that stuff, all that, right? But she continues with, I caught up with a few things that slipped through the mute. People who expect someone with 20K followers to debate every ignorant person in the comments, y'all are lost. It's Sunday. Go pretend to be good people. I said my piece. I'm good. I don't really like comments like this because this concept of you're not a good person if you decide to buy a video game, I'm not really a fan of it. I think it's a very asinine comment. I think it is also a weak comment born from emotion and something that she can't actually back up with rational conversation, which is okay. It's okay to have these feelings and speak from emotion, but that's all it is. It's just her speaking from emotion. So this person here is like, I love Harry Potter and its world. I don't care about the author. I don't follow her or the drama. Politics aside, I will be enjoying a game that I pre-ordered because of it residing in the HP fantasy world that saved me when I was a kid going through dark times. As you can see, a complete and utter lack of empathy on her part. This person's basically saying, like, you know what, I was going through a rough patch when I was a kiddo and Harry Potter helped me a lot, man. And she's all like, you know what, you're actively harming trans people. And then this person, someone in the replies, which I appreciate, was like, can you explain actively harms, please? And she didn't respond to that. So I do have to wonder, I'm not gonna lie, I do have to wonder if she actually did give a viable answer about what really is going on with this concept of actively harming people. You know what I'm saying? If it really is just words, and don't get me wrong, words are very, very powerful. It is how we, language is power, basically. You know what I'm saying? But considering the violence that happens and is perpetuated against trans people, especially trans women of color. I don't know, a few words on social media, Miss Ma'am? Buying a video game, Miss Ma'am? I don't know. I don't know if I like that usage, that word usage personally. But she, of course, is entitled to her opinion, and I wish her nothing but the best. And then we'll switch over to this comment over here, and I would like to read it out loud because I think this personally and perfectly encapsulates everything that is a problem for this attempt to keep people from buying this game. But Old School Game Cat, shout out to you, says the Twitter mob fools obviously have not heard of the Streisand effect. Their continual that is attacks on people for just showing interest in the game has made those people want to buy it on principle, which is true. I've seen several people state that they're going to buy it out of spite. Plus, it's convinced even more people, some of which who had no intention to buy or play Hogwarts Legacy whatsoever, to go out and buy it anyway, just to send a message. Something I've also seen. I, for example, have bought 4 copies and 3 copies of the digital deluxe edition on PS5 for both myself and my 2 nephews, which, to be fair, I intended on buying anyway. However, because I cannot stand cancel culture and hate being dictated to, I've also bought myself a 2nd copy on PC, and I only have a Steam Deck, and I don't even know if it's going to run well. It was just a spite buy. So, again, there are a lot of people who have this kind of thought process and mentality. And, I don't really blame them. I'm not going to lie. I don't really blame them. I completely understand where they're coming from. I made a comment about this, a similar comment about this, where it's like when you apply a blanket term to people and you try to accuse a lot of people and several people of being prejudiced in some way over something as asinine as whether or not they want to purchase a video game, you are doing nothing to help your cause. All you're doing is helping to sow more distrust and discord in the conversation. And I just find it unfortunate that this is the route that people have decided to take when it comes to this conversation in particular. But again, not really all that surprised about it either, because it's just how it is, man. So that's it for me, though. I'll catch you guys for another video, and let me know what you think in the comment section below on these comments, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace.